Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. The holidays are upon us. So is another beautiful winter in the Smokies if you're looking for a place to celebrate with family or friends. If you want to just have your own mountain cabin in a winter wonderland, visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. The Ogle family's been doing it since the Great Smoky Mountain National Park became a national park. They are the kings of hospitality in the Smoky Mountains. Nobody has more cabins, better cabins with more amenities, more different layouts. Visit them, check out all of them, all the different blueprints and layouts, ParksideCabinRentals.com. Okay, I'm back with Josh Ward, Jimmy Hyams, Bob Hodge, Chuck Cavaleris on the screen. This is going to be a catch-up segment, so we're going to be quick here. We're going to get into tempo. This question is for Chuck and Bob. Looked this morning, and basically all of the main betting sites I saw had C.J. Stroud number 1, Hendon Hooker number 2. Looks like a two-man race at this point. You see the numbers down through there. Hendon Hooker is the runner, C.J. Stroud pure drop-back passer, but in terms of stats, the only advantage goes to C.J. Stroud with touchdowns. He's got 5 more. Everything else leans kind of either toward Hooker or even. So my question for the two of you, if Stroud is the favorite right now, can Hendon Hooker catch him and pass him?
Yes.
You think Hooker can catch him? Okay.
Yeah. Lose to Michigan.
Okay.
He can, but I'm thinking it's more and more unlikely. I just think the Heisman to me is the best player on the best team, and you almost have to be undefeated, right? The loss to Georgia hurt more than what I thought when I started looking at more of these sites.
Agreed.
I think C.J. Stroud is now like a 3-1 favorite to win the Heisman.
But if he loses to Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay, because we had talked yesterday, and I thought that's why I was a little surprised by your answer. I thought you were saying because he's got the Big 12, he's got the Big 10 championship game, he's got Michigan, he's got bigger games than Hooker has.
If he goes undefeated, yes.
But here's what I'd say: watch out for Blake Corum. If Ohio State loses to Michigan, the Michigan running back then can jump in the mix for as a contender.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's listed on all the betting sites in the top 4, which I just don't see it numbers-wise, but who knows how they're going to look at it. Okay, so if Stroud doesn't lose, is there any way Hooker catches him?
I don't think so.
He would have to look terrible, I think, in some games, and I just don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Has to lose.
All right, Josh and Jimmy, what's a bigger concern for Tennessee the rest of the way? Their pass coverage, which looked shaky again in the first half yesterday, they cleaned up in the second half, or the pass protection? Now, they've been going against good defensive lines. The last couple of weeks, Hendon Hooker has been he's been under duress and he's been hit a lot. So what's your bigger concern right now, pass protection or pass coverage?
I'll say pass protection because coverage, you already have concerns going in, right? And you're expecting the offense to lead you to where you want to go. If you're going to have a shot in the playoff, we're not going to say, well, if the defense has a chance to go win this championship for Tennessee, it's going to be the offense. Well, what could hold the offense back? I don't think it's Hooker. I don't think it's Hyatt. I think it's the offensive line if it doesn't play like it has. On the other side, if the offensive line plays like it did against Alabama, against LSU, against Kentucky, they're good to go. So with what they need to be. So I think it's the offensive line for sure.
I'm going to go secondary because I think that the secondary could get torched by a really good passing team. You gave up 4 sacks yesterday. You gained 726 yards and you scored 66 points.
It could have been 900
yards. To me, just that game kind of negates it a little bit. And I understand you don't want Hooker on his back all the time.
That's the thing for me.
And I get that. And there's an injury possibility. But I also think a team could riddle this secondary to where you're in a 50-48 shootout. So I'm going to go secondary.
Yeah, they're both concerns. Well, I put them on there. But I think, for me, it's pass protection. As good as Joe Milton has looked in backup duty, I don't think anybody wants to see your starting quarterback go down at this part. And against Georgia, end of the game, he's getting up slowly. He got up slowly a couple times yesterday. I'm a little bit concerned about the hits Hendon Hooker is taking right now.
Yeah, so my concern would be the highest level teams you're going to play, which would be the playoff. We saw what happened against Georgia when the offensive line didn't play well. Offense couldn't do anything.
Well, if they play Georgia again, I'll go offensive line.
We have a ton more to get. We have a ton more to get to and no time to do it. So next, let's talk to Will and Sterling about the senior class. Then we're going to talk about whether or not South Carolina causes any problems for Tennessee. We've got much more to come on the show. Come on back on the Sports Source.